Hello and welcome to the I've Seen Everything Reaction Wrap-Up. My name's Andrew and I'm glad to have you here with me. This is where I share my thoughts, rating, and review following my most recent reaction or watch-along video. To find these reaction and watch-along videos, please visit @SeenEverything over on YouTube. Please be sure to click the follow button here on the podcast, and for those listening on Apple Podcasts, a rating and review would be greatly appreciated. And now, on to this episode's wrap-up for Doctor Who, Season 1, Episode 3. Boom. Well, that was quite an episode. I can't really explain why. Well, I guess I could a little bit, but that was my favorite episode so far. By a lot. And I know it was just they kept ramping up the tension. They definitely had a message in that episode. Anti-corporate message. The idea of what the history of religion in relation to war. Lots of powerful messages. But I feel like the most powerful, there were a lot of powerful things in play. People losing people that were important to them, and, love lost before it had a chance to bloom. Just as they were telling each other they liked each other, all of a sudden he was gone, and there was this hologram confessing that he loved her, but that she didn't love him. Never get a chance to kind of explore that and see what could have been there because the person's gone. Little girl loses her father and presumably has no one else except Monday left for her in the world. And the whole dynamic between Ruby and the Doctor. We just kept ramping up more and more. The Doctor goes running out of the TARDIS, presumably to find somebody that he believes is in trouble. I didn't really understand what he was doing when he first ran out of the TARDIS. And then steps on the landmine and just can't do anything. Like, he's in that position for basically the whole episode. But he does so much from that position. And ironically, even though they weren't going around doing as much, like, going through different sets and different parts of an episode that you would normally see, Ncuti Gatwa in this episode, all the different emotions he went through, all the vast emotional range he showed as an actor in this, the highest highs and the lowest lows, trying to keep himself light, trying to keep things fun, having to talk to Ruby about appreciating the fact of her being on a different planet for the first time, that this is the first time she's on a planet other than Earth, and him doing that while he's standing on a landmine, trying not to die, and still being happy and exuberant about it, having to try to keep his emotions up for this girl, the little girl who's lost her father, who he's holding in his hand, having to try to keep his emotions up so that his negative emotional state won't set off the mine. So many different things at play here. And then they just kept adding more and more. They're trying to save the Doctor. Then they realize that the Doctor could take out half the planet, and then they're trying to save everybody. And Ruby gets shot trying to do what Monday was telling her to do, to draw the ambulance droid away. And so now we have Ruby clinging to life, almost dead, and the Doctor emotionally processing all of that while still standing on this landmine. I honestly don't know what the episode, like what my video is going to look like, because I'm going to have to edit it into something where it's not just going to get taken down for playing long sections of this show. And I was just transfixed watching it. It's going to be, I am guessing and I shouldn't say this because I haven't seen the last two that are available right now, but like, out of the ones I've watched so far, the three that I've watched so far, this is going to be the hardest to edit. But man, very, very good episode. One of the best episodes of Doctor Who I think I've seen, period. And there have been some really great episodes of Doctor Who. I'm not going to say it was the best, but it's up there. It's my favorite with Ncuti Gatwa so far, for sure. This show, it's such an amazing show in and of itself, in its entire structure. Russell T Davies, back in charge running the show. Stephen Moffat wrote this episode. I think we are in very good hands here as a Doctor Who fan anyway. I think we are in very good hands here so far. And this episode, more than any other, has convinced me of that. We have had fun and exuberant moments. We have had some sad and serious moments, and we still have a decent amount to go. I still have 2 more episodes to watch of just what's been released to this point. And then we have another 3. I really wish there was more. They keep making the season shorter. Hopefully, since I think they're either most of the way through filming season 2 or done filming season 2 at this point, hopefully we won't have to wait a real long time for the next season. As far as the rating for this episode, Boom is getting 5 stars for me. I really, really enjoyed it. I knew pretty much nothing going into this episode, and if you'd asked me at the beginning of this episode if I thought I was going to enjoy this much, I would not have thought that to be the case. But it was just such a wonderful, compact like study of these characters, but just so much happened in such a small space. And I love this episode. This is definitely my favorite episode so far. I'm really excited to see what's coming. I'm really excited to see if this is going to be my favorite episode of the season, or if something is going to come along and top this. When I give these ratings also, this is how I feel right now in the moment. That's not to say, I mean, sometimes these ratings change. If I watch something again, I feel differently about it. Sometimes something else comes along and I'm like, well, if that's a 5-star, maybe this other one's not. But for right now, this is a 5-star for me. But I really enjoyed this episode. I appreciate you coming along with me, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you for listening to the I've Seen Everything reaction wrap-up. Again, to find these reaction and watch-along videos, please visit @SeenEverything over on YouTube. Please consider following the podcast, and for those on Apple Podcasts, a rating and review are always appreciated. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll meet you here on the next episode.